If 5 million Bernie or bust voters RSVP by August the 8th, we will build the world's first Flashmob election. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Bernie. Plan A for all of us is President Bernie. But as he's told us, this is somewhat of a long shot now. And we have to trust him because he knows best how to maintain his influence now. And it looks like that's pushing the DNC to the left. Any other option, he goes down a sore loser. He also knows if he runs as a third-party candidate, Green Party, Libertarian, in 2016, he would lose even if he won. His movement would be crushed by the establishment who would still control Congress. He ran from the inside, and now he must turn the inside out. Our Voice Party's goal is to give Bernie a plan B, a new party he can't endorse, but he can leverage in D.C. after the election. And as our numbers increase, his leverage increases because the establishment knows we back him and that at any point he can jump from the DNC ship to lead our Voice Party. What's our ultimate objective? The same as his. Replace special interest power with people power in our government again. And what stands in the way? The two-party system, which by definition means an American majority will never be represented. How do we get stuck with this system? Well, the voting method called first past the post is the first reason. Of course, we also have career politicians who are bought and paid for and manipulate the voting process. But we also have a lot of solutions now. We know that we need exclusive small donor funding, one person, one vote nominations. We need a single transferable voting method, multi-party system, majority rule, and we need to abolish gerrymandering and write-in voter restrictions. Oh yeah, and we need our Voice Party's flash mob election, where 5 million Bernie or bust voters show up at over 100,000 polling locations on election day wearing a t-shirt leading to a website where flash mob election results will be broadcast to the world and make page one in every city of the nation, even overseas. You in? Well, here's what you need to do now. You need to RSVP and get the word out. We need 5 million voters to sign up by August 8th. Because August 8th only leaves us 90 days to build what some already say is impossible. What happens if Bernie or bust votes aren't counted election day? Well, there's no measure of Bernie's support. There's less leverage for Bernie in D.C. after the election, and efforts to organize the millions who have found each other through Bernie into a viable party will fragment. What happens with a non-government count of our votes? Well, everyone will know how many boycotted the government election or were forced to vote for someone they really didn't want instead of getting to vote for Bernie. Plus, we'll get huge piles of free media to propel the growth of our party. What happens if we get to 5 million by August the 8th? Well, you'll get instructions on how to register to vote. Then by November 1st, you'll get your voter credentials in the mail, a training kit on how to vote, and talking points so we can all leverage media coverage and grow our Voice Party. What will you do on Election Day? You'll go to your local polling location, whether you vote in the government election or not. Then head to the parking lot where you'll see a mobile voting vehicle. Present your voting credentials and vote. 3 different ways. You'll vote the way you voted in the government election, or didn't if you're a Bernie or bust voter. Then how you wanted to vote. Then you'll tell us who would have been your first, second, and third choice in that order. It's called the alternative voting method. Why record the way you voted in the government's election? Because the result will rattle the pundits and the politicians for weeks, driving them to speculate, if this, then that, all the while giving our voice party millions in free media coverage. Why record the way you wanted to vote? Well, if Hillary wins, it will show how much she owes Bernie. If she loses, it will show the superdelegates they bet on the wrong horse. Why record your vote using the alternative voting method? Well, by combining the government results with our results using alternative voting, then working with voter advocacy groups, we can promote the Single Transferable Voting method as the basis for Constitutional Amendment 28, hashtag CA28. There are links below this video where you can learn about these voting methods and share those links with others to educate Americans. So why the t-shirts? Well, first, to create an immediate media phenomenon, leading millions to the flash mob results on our website, but also to help you find each other and your community to find you on Election Day and afterwards anytime you wear the t-shirt. What else will the Flashmob Election show America? Well, first, how the two-party system denies millions of Americans their right to vote for the candidate of choice. And that we must create a common state-of-the-art voting platform. If we could do it in 90 days in a nationwide election, why are we stuck with this archaic system? Who's going to develop the voter registration, credentialing, voting software, and data analytics software? Technologists for Bernie, now numbering a few, but a few that will grow to include strategists, security programming, and data analytics experts if the RSVP meter starts to spike. Who will manage the ground game? Well, we're going to need a grassroots partner or partners to manage help desk response, mail t-shirts and voter credentials, recruit and train the mobile voting vehicle staff for 100,000 plus polling locations nationwide. And who's going to manage the press? Well, we'll need PR experts for Bernie to chip in, to develop messaging and talking points, train our voters and staff by November the 1st to manage press inquiries in a uniform way with a singular goal to wage a hearts and minds campaign. What will happen after Election Day? Well, we will create and leverage free media and community awareness to continue the Hearts and Minds campaign with a goal to increase our voice party to 13 million members by the presidential inauguration January 20th, 2017. Why 13 million? Well, our estimates put that the major parties are spending about $1.4 billion per year to fund state and national elections. So with 13 million members, we can get our average donation down to $27 every 3 months. And if we grow the party to 26 million, that's $27 every 6 months. 54 million, $27 a year. Why the January 20th, 2017 deadline? Well, between the two presidential elections in 2016 and 2020, there's a 2018 midterm election for Congress, and we need to escrow money now to recruit candidates who will opt for exclusive small donor funding in time to register for the 2018 election. How much will this flash mob election cost? Well, the goal is to make it not for profit, not for loss. The expenses, a t-shirt, mailing the t-shirts and voter credentials, printing over 100,000 signs for the mobile voting vehicles, software development, and we think we need to pick up a few of Hillary's old email servers to manage all the communications, of course. The estimate, $10 to $12 a voter. Could be less. We don't think it would be more. Where do you RSVP? The link's on your screen. How do you promote it? Keep posting, sharing this video invite until the media picks it up, then sit back and smile while we watch the media and establishments bite the chairs. Imagine waking up on election day and saying, "Good morning to the Second American Revolution."